Well, hello. Oh, hold on. What is test test? Nope, okay. Hello and welcome all aboard. Welcome to Fox Valley Shortline Railroad. And there's a little bit of a delay. Why? Okay, chat room is back. That's still good. We'll post it again just to make sure. There we go. All right. Yeah, I lost the chat widget in OBS. So welcome. This is the second stream for Derail Valley Simulator. This is a standard career playthrough. Last week we went through the tutorial. We got that finished and we picked up a shunting license and we ran 2 jobs in the span of 2 hours. So tonight we're going to start and just sort of discuss some of the mods that I use to help get the most out of the limited time that I do get to play during the week. Hey, Wild! How are you? Thanks for popping in. So we're going to unpause this and we're going to run over to the station here at Steel Mill. It's early in the morning, just about supper time. No. Let's turn that down a little bit. That's a little noisy. Maybe not. Hold on. Okay. So, all right. So the mods for this game are located at nexusmods.com. You can find the ones specifically for Derail Valley by adding /games/Derail Valley. And there you'll find all the current mods available for Derail Valley. Now, Derail Valley runs on the Unity client, so there's some Unity mod apps that you need to download first, and then you download the mods for the game and drop them into the Unity mod app software. It's just a little mini utility. So right now, if you look at the table, everything is nice and neat, kind of orderly. And that is due to the mod booklet organizer. All right. So I use that and yeah, I'm just still thinking I'm getting a background echo here, but it just may be a delay on the audio. Let me turn this off. Make sure that's not a problem. Okay. Well, at any rate. All right. So booklet organizer takes all of the jobs that are available in a station and lays them out in a nice, neat rows. I mean, it's semi-neat, but if you come in without it, they're all just like thrown on the table, stacked on top of one another. You have to kind of dig through them. It just wastes time that you could be playing the game. So next I use is improve job overview. So if you pick up a job, normally if you look in the gray line underneath the car symbols, it would just say steel mill. And then in the brown tan line, it would just say sawmill. But with this improved job overview mod, I get a location at Steel Mill, the track A4S. That's where I can go to find the cars that are part of this order. All right. And I also know that when I take them to the sawmill, I need to drop them off at track C4S. All right. So that's for just a regular freight or logistics haul. Let me put this one down. Now, if you look at a shunting order, all right, now on a regular shunting order, you would just get where it says 2 drop-offs in tan. That's it. You might also see unload and store a train with scrap metal. All right. You'll get the picture. You can count how many cars are involved here. You get all the time bonus, the value, the weight, and the length of the train, all the license requirements. That's all there. But what you get with this improved job overview is if you look on the second line underneath where it says 2 drop-offs, you see B3I arrow 2 A7L arrow 2, and then in brackets, once you've unloaded the train, so they'll back up a little bit. So once you find the train in B3I, you take those cars to A7L where you unload them. Then, once you have unloaded the cars, you'll take a certain number of cars to track B8S, and then a certain number of cars and drop them off at B7S. And if there were 3 or 4 drop-offs, you'd have additional numbers in the brackets. Now, it kind of gives you where to go to find it, where you're taking it to either load or unload it, which the L in the track number kind of gives that away. And then you know that you've got 2 or 3 drop-offs and where in the station or the industry they go. So you can, in the game, you can move cars all over the place. You don't even need a shunting. You don't need a job active to move cars around. So you can go and get this train of loaded cars and move them to the loading track before you turn this in and start your timer. So not only does it kind of make it easier for you to find the train that you need, it tells you kind of where you need to take it and gives you an idea of what yards the empties will go to. And it helps you maximize getting the bonus, the time and a half bonus to the price or the value, what you're getting paid at the end. So those are the 2 mods I use. I've looked at some other ones and I just don't need them right now, the way I play the game. All right, so those are the mods. If you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. But there's a lot of good wikis out there already that go over this. So we've already looked at, excuse me, we've already looked at the map of Derail Valley last week, but we were going to, oh, give me a second. Something caught in my throat there. Oh, that sounds better. All right. The other thing we were going to look at is this map here. Now, Derail Valley is all connected. The different industries support one another, and most everything ends up at the harbor for either export or import. So I'm going to put Alt on here. So this here, okay, if you see oh, my mouse works. This is harbor, all right? We are sawmill. Okay, so the products made at sawmill go either to harbor. They also can go up to the goods factory and vice versa. They also can go to the machine factory. And where else? I think that's it. And then, as you can see, this is coal mine. Sometimes orders will go from coal mine to the sawmill. Same with iron central or iron mine east and iron mine west. Both send ore to the steel mill, and that's the only place they send stuff. Um, then cars will go back to either of those two places. Forest Central and Forest South, they send lumber to the steel mill, no, not the steel mill, the sawmill. And then the sawmill sends products to the good factory. Any place else? No. So it's sort of a complex bubble map, but if you stand here and kind of look at it for a while, um, you can kind of get an idea of where things go and how the commerce of Derail Valley works. This down here is the military. This is food factory. Again, follow the arrows. Oil well north typically goes to the harbor. Some things will go to the military. Some things go to other places. Oh, and what was FM? Oh, that's the farm. The farm sends things to the harbor. It sends produce products to the food factory. Where else? What else? What else? What else? So, you know, if you go farm, you're going to go to harbor or you're going to go to food factory if you pick something up. So you can kind of plan your trip. Hey, I know I'm going that direction and I'm going through the farm, so I'll just back and forth to the farm, to the food factory, and make some money, guaranteed loads. But you're pretty much guaranteed a load to go just about anywhere from the harbor, as you can see. Okay, so that's that map, and then here below it, it's your weather map, and looks like it's going to rain on us today. Ooh, thunderstorms at 3 o'clock. What time is it? What time is it? Oh, where's the clock? There's the clock. So it is just before 9, and we have nice and sunny weather. All right, so all right, so that's the mods. That's the commerce of Derail Valley. So now we're going to take our first trip. And I'm going to take which one am I going to take? That's heavy. No, I'm not going to take that. We'll take this one. All right, so that is SMFH 84. So let's go find it. And we need to go the other way. And our train is pointing the other way. So, oh, that's this one here. So we just need to put ourselves on the other side of this one. Or we can push it, which I don't recommend. All right, so let's get to the other side of the yard and hook up to this and get going. So we're not going to start our clock yet and turn this job in. We're just going to put it in our inventory and get in our train, our cute little DE2. Turn her on. She is on. Oh, very nice. So did you have a good day today, Wild? So we're back up here. Brakes off. I think we're disconnected already. I hope we're disconnected already. Oh, okay. What are you playing? Hey, baby pup. Welcome to the stream. All aboard, my friend. My day was not too bad. Felt like Thursday, honestly. But that's tomorrow. All right, so why am I squeaking? What is wrong here? Oh, I didn't have that turned off. Oh, that's much better. The train is happier. All right, slow down. I need to flip that switch, and I need to flip that switch. And we're going to zip down to the other end of the track. Where is... I need to be at B20. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't bury that. No, we may not take that one. I bet you I buried that. That would stink. Do a lot of work just to dig it back out. Yeah, we could still do that. Plenty of time. Not really, it's gonna rain on us. Ah, 50-10 record so far for the Tigers. Ah, it must be a video game. All right, so we're gonna drive our way to the other end of the yard, back down to B20. And, oh, well, that shouldn't be too hard so long as our best and only pitcher isn't throwing today. Scanes, Mr. Scanes, our pitcher. All right, so we need to get that one. I'm going to run down and check the switches. All right, that one's right. I need to turn here. But I have a feeling that this isn't the same job. So where does this job end? Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of jobs in here. All right, so I can't take this one. As much as I'd like to take that one, I can't take that one. All right, so we'll take this one. C2I. I know I ran past this one. Oof. Ran into the back. Ran into a pole. FH32, FH32. Okay, we'll back and pick that one up. Yeah. Well, I guess I hope your Tigers win. All right, slow down. All right, coming in hot. Slowly coast in. Shave off some speed. A little more brake. Want to hit it about 2 or 3 miles an hour most. Yep, that'll be about right. We'll just come down here and wait for to meet. Nice and gentle. Didn't sound very gentle, did it? All right, we connected to. Tighten up the torsion connection. Get the airlines hooked up. Turn on the air through the train. We are ready to go. Now we just need to check that load out. And we'll be on our way. Oop, too far. All right, here we go. We have the order. We're hooked up to the back of our locomotive. We're taking it to harbor in town and dropping it off at C2I. Ooh, wait a minute. We're going to get the dispatcher license. Eek. All right, hold on a second. Fees. Really? All right, we'll pay them. Dude. It's $100. Yay. All right, so I also said we were going to get the dispatcher license before we leave. So let's scroll down the licenses and dispatcher. Oh, we got to scroll down. All right. This allows us to use our handy maps and switch the switches like so. We lose 2 seconds off of our... But it's well worth it, so watch. We need to go... Where's it go? See, I can pull up this route map. Now I know we're here at Sawmill, and I need to go to Harbor. So each of these switches... All right, why isn't it not working? Do I have to actually make a first run before it allows me to use this? Oh, how unfortunate. What a mess. Okay, let's see. How about these? Can I do these? Oh, you need to do a first run first before this even works. Does it say that? Did I actually spend the money and do it? Let's check. Hold on. Go away. All right. Did I do it? Oh no, that's the sample. I didn't actually buy it. No wonder it didn't work. That would have been embarrassing. Boop. Okay. Oh, come back. Licenses. Confirm. I want dispatcher. Yes. I'm gonna say I didn't think I put my wallet in it. Dunk. Wallet back and confirm. Now it'll work. There we go. Here's our dispatcher license. All right, we'll put that in the woodshed with the rest of them. All right, now we'll look at the big map. All right, so we look at the big map, and we're in Sawmill. So from here, we want to make sure that the switch is set to the left, which it is. And we come through, and we want to go left again. Yes. And we hit this one, and we want to stay left. And we want to stay left here. And at this one, we want to go right. And at this one, we want to go left. So now all those switches are set. So now we come to Harbor in town. Yes, we are. And okay. So that's left. We want to go left, left, left. Now we need to go into the C yard, but the train's going to be behind us. So we want to go left here and through this switch, probably through this switch, and then we'll have to back in. And we need to go to C2I, which is right down the middle, I believe. So come back to 4, come back to 3, we'll switch to C and 2. So we want to stay to the right there and the left there, and that'll put you right into 2. Perfect. Ah, dispatcher. Shunting, then dispatcher, and then long 1 is probably the next license we'll get. All right, good to go. So we are on the clock, and I am talking too much, but we are running out of time. What is going on? All right. Why is our engine shut up? Oh, because we did maintenance on it. All right, we're going to get into a position where we can see everything. Everything in front, that's all working. Brakes off. Brakes off here. And brakes off on the cars. Oh, that's why I'm doing it. It's sort of a kind of a game tutorial playthrough, hoping other people learn from these mistakes. All right. Little horn action, and away we go. She's not so zippy with 230 tons on her back. And we're all moving. Give her another notch of power. So we need to get some significant power here, significant speed, because the first, between this point and the second switch, it's all uphill. And if you overload this little girl, she will struggle. Oh yeah, so Baby Pup, the whole point of the career mode is you take on jobs, finish the jobs and get paid for it. And then with the money that you accumulate, you maintain the locomotives that you are renting. If you are too rough with the rolling stock, then you have to pay to fix those. And you also pay for licenses so that you can drive bigger, more powerful locomotives, and so on and so forth. Eventually, towards about the mid-game, you look for wrecks of locomotives, and then you can take those to the museum and restore them, and then they become yours. So you're not renting them anymore. And you put cool paint jobs on them. Right now there's only one cool paint job for each locomotive. I mean, you can either do the stock Derail Valley, either this yellowy orange, or it has, if you look on my Twitch, there's a picture, that's this train with the demonstrator paint on it. So we are yes, exactly. I need to go faster. So I need to watch my gauges here. Why is it, oh, that's why. Yeah. That should help. I had that still. All right, now we should be going fast. I'm gonna use my sand to help give me some more traction so I don't lose speed quite as quickly. So I have a long way to go. And that valve underneath there kind of messed me up a little bit. So we'll see if we'll make it though. Right now we're just in the yellow zone on our amp meter, and we aren't even in the yellow on our traction motor. So we can probably max her out here on the throttle. We are holding steady at 20 kilometers an hour, so that's good. The grade is 1.3. We're actually doing pretty good. Good girl. So we're taking our first freight load from Steel Mill, where the game starts you, down to the harbor and town. And if we do it within the 36 minutes or something like that, and I don't know how that's all calculated because it's not in actual hour time. It doesn't seem to be in game time. I don't know. It's weird. It might be in actual time, but I think I don't know. I don't know. I've never been able to figure that out. All right, so this says I can be going 90 kilometers an hour, and the speed is going to drop 20 kilometers an hour by the next symbol. At least it could be 30. And here's the switch, and we are going quick, so I'm going to turn off the sand. Save that. Here's the sand gauge, so we've used that much sand so far. Oil and fuel are still good. Tachometer and ammeter are also good. So we should be turning to the left up here. Let's see. We can go 50 kilometers an hour to the left. The switch is correct. And we are going about 28. So we are well within the speed limit. Still on an uphill grade. Once we level out, I'll want to slow down here or throttle back so I don't go crazy here. All right, gaining speed still. All right, here's our next switch. Set to the left. We come through this interchange. Going left. All right, now we're on a decline. So I'm going to throttle back, control my speed on this descent. I'm going to keep it about 45 to 55 miles an hour. Or kilometers an hour, I should say. So now we're going to be heading again to the left. Everything's correct. Speed limit is 70 kilometers an hour, and is leveling out. Track is leveling out. So we're going about 45. You can see on the map, see where our blue arrow is. That's where we are now, and we need to go down to here. And we started up here. So this is a nice long drive here, and we can give the train a little bit more head, a little more speed. I can zoom out. Here we are, cruising along. And then back into the cockpit again. Hey, Skash, how are ya? Dot, dot, dot. I was wondering if my computer speakers were also on. It just seems like there's an echo. I could feel that ChatGPT hates you. All right, cruising along at 50 kilometers an hour here. The graphics, the scenery is amazing in this game, and it's built to be played in VR. All right, where are we? About halfway. I mean, they even got the physics and the rocking of the car up and down and kind of left and right. It's just amazing. I love it. Gash, be nice to the AI. It'll be grading your homework soon. Okay, we're getting up to about 55 kilometers an hour. Let's back that off. So I think we need to be slowed down to 50 for the turn to the right. And then 40 on the other side of that tunnel. So we need to kind of get a little control over our speed here. Speed limit's 80 kilometers an hour. We are nowhere near that. Going through this cut. If you just see a regular speed limit sign, it can adjust by 10 up or down. But if you see one with a arrow, green arrow up or a red arrow down, it can increase by 20 to 30 by the next speed sign. How we doing? All right, bridge in the background there. That means we're coming up, approaching the next interchange. That's the next interchange to the left would take us across that bridge. We'll be going to the right. Yep. All right, so here is the next interchange. Let's go into a coast here, apply a little bit of brakes, back her off to about 45 in case we need to make some kind of an emergency stop here. There's where our interchange is. Our switch is right, and we need to be going 60 to go to the right, which we are doing well, and we're at 40. So we'll back off on the brakes, let her free. We're on a downhill. I love that. A little bit of brake. What's that say? 40, okay, so we need to brake, get her down to 40. Come on, baby. Slow down. Alright, we're down to 40. Safe again. Speed's under control. Back off the brake a little bit more. See where we're at. All right. I think this is the 40 kilometer hour turn. Yep, because now speed's back up. Add a little power. Just a notch. It's kind of twisty turny here if you look at the map as we come down along this river and we make our last turn to the left. So back into another tunnel. How are we doing on speed? Got a little low. Take the brake off. Let's see where we go. There we go. Yep. Especially while driving. Speed limit's at 50, we're about 45. Add a little brake. Hold our speed. Looking good here through the turns. It's a long way down there. It's a long way down. Okay, oh, turn, let's get back into position. What's our speed limit? 60, okay, we're next to 50, let's go slower. Oh, is it starting to rain? Oh yeah, it's starting to rain. Oh, down to 40. There we go. Good job. Good enough. Yeah, now this game takes into account wet rails, so you will slide and flatten these steel wheels. And we're going to get some thunderstorms, and it's like haunted mansion thunderstorms. Oops, wrong way. Ah, through the trees. All right, our next gonna get some wipers. Oh, you guys are gonna get to see everything on this. Guys and gals, I should say. Okay, that's too much. Oh yeah. A little lightning. Okay, come on. Come on, slow down. Slow down. There we go. Needle's going in the right direction. So I got a 40 kilometer an hour. Can't answer that right now. Turn here, and I might as well just keep it because it's a long way down and I need more wiper. All right, our last turn before we head down into the harbor. This is a really steep hill. You thought the hill coming out of the steel mill was bad. Oh, did you see those lightning bolts? It's crazy. All right. All right, so it's a negative 2.3% grade. We don't want to stop on this hill, but we don't want to take it, let it have its head. So we need to kind of control this descent. And it's about time for all that weight behind us to finally get over the edge and like a roller coaster send us back down this hill. Luckily, it's not very long. Well, it's called Derail Valley for a reason, and when you derail, things go all over to the bad place. All right, come on, baby. Slow down. There we go. One more set of turns, and we're on the flat. We need to be at 30 to go into the first turn in harbor without throwing it off the track. So we are good. We are good handling the speed coming down. Sorry. Back off the brake a little bit. Give her a little head. And I would love to come into a new area on a bright sunny day, but here we are. Welcome to Harbor in Town. Ahead of us is the military base pier. We don't have licenses for that, so we can't access it yet. But here we are, pulling in. All right, our speed is good. We're on the level. We're going to add a couple clicks of throttle here, get ourselves moving. So the C yard is just the other side of these tanks there. This track coming in from here comes out of the military base. This signal would take us into the roundhouse. So we'll look over there. We'll turn our head and kind of look over there. Looks like there's a steam locomotive, another one of these engines, diesel electric 6 and a diesel hydraulic 4 on the other side of the roundhouse. We'll also be looking for those derelict, wrecked locomotives and try and make a note of where they are so that we can find them. I want to find the one for this engine we're in now. I spent a lot of time in this engine. All right, so we're going to pull past this next switch and then back down into the C yard, which is right down there. So those tracks there lead into the C yard, and we'll pull into the middle track when we're done. So we're going to take off that. I'm going to estimate that the back of our train will be beyond the switch if we get to this next switch. With the locomotive. She's going to stop. I'm going to run back and flip this switch. All right, so we are ready. We already set the switches in the C yard, so we just needed to flip that one. Brakes off. We're into reverse. Let's see how we do. Now, just as it's difficult to stop in the rain, it's also difficult to start, and it'll be real easy to do wheel slip. So we're going to take our time, do it a notch at a time, and slowly get rolling. And that's a good practice to get into, no matter whether it's raining or it's not. And that way, you know, it's less wear and tear on the wheels, which will save you money in the long run on the maintenance of the locomotives. I know it's difficult when you're just starting to play the game, but you'll get the feel for it. So work towards that. All right, so here we go. Around the bend, and we can probably slow down. Yeah. So we'll coast from here. So that's the back of the roundhouse there. The station at every place is marked by that green flashing light, which you can pretty much see from anywhere in the different cities and industries. And the switches are right. The first switch should be to the right, and the second switch should be to the left. That'll send us right down the middle into C to I. I for incoming. The track to the right, that's a loading track. So I think it's C1S, C2I, and C3L is here at the C yard. There's a long way. This dock is very long, but most of your liquids, gasolines, diesel, your hazardous materials, they get unloaded here. I don't have that license. All right, so we need to get these in there past that sign on the right that says 2I. Should only be a little bit further here. We can go beyond it, but we just shouldn't be ahead of it. That would be out of this trackage. All right, so we're going to add a little brake. And I think we are just about perfect there. Hop on out. Oh, we're a little further, but that's okay. I'll show you a trick. There's a line in the track. That shows where the separation is. And I don't think you can see it in the rain. But, so turn off the air, put on the brake, turn off the air, disconnect the airlines, disconnect the train. All right, we need to go to the station, so we might as well take a ride there. You can just as easily just run over there and leave the train where it's at. We'll take the train for a little spin. Take the loco for a little spin. Do the loco, do the locomotion. All right, I won't sing. I'm losing followers. No. Like there's another DE2 right there on that siding. That I believe is the A yard. And I set us off on this siding. And once things stop, turn that off. Turn the locomotive off and save some fuel. Let's go in and turn in that job. All right, let's see how we did. 5. There we go. We had 48 minutes. We did it in 33, so we got the bonus of almost $5,000. So we made almost $15,000 of currency. I'll throw that away and turn that off by taking the money. So now we have almost 25,000. Where are we at? Oh my gosh, we're halfway through the stream. All right, so let's do some shunting. All right, here's the job we just brought in. So like I had mentioned earlier, now you can see there's 3 drop-offs. So we know where we left this order. It needs to go to the D yard, which is on the siding that I just rolled down. And then we need to take, there's like only 4 cars. So 1 or 2 will go into the G yard, 1 or 2 goes back to the C1S, and so you end up dropping off cars in each of the yards. So we will make about 12,000 to do that, and gives us an hour to do that in. So let's stick with that job. So we'll hold on to that one. But as you can see, the booklet organizer, otherwise, there's a lot of work here. And when you walk in without those mods on, this table's just a mess with these jobs just stacked all over one another. So this just makes it a little easier to see, okay, here's The reds, those are my shunting jobs. The greens, those are freight hauls, and yellow is logistic jobs. And we don't have a logistics license, so we can't do anything with those. But we can do things with the reds so long as there's not a license that we don't have. And I'm looking here to see if there are any that would like require hazmat. Like here's, let's see. No, but this one, like this one here, deliver ammonium nitrate. That'll go from here to the farm, which is right up next to the steel mill. But you can see on the license requirements, you need not only hazmat 2, but also fragile. And we don't have either of those licenses, so we can't do anything. I mean, we could find these and we could move them around the harbor, but we can't put this into the machine and get credit for taking this. We could take this, but we wouldn't get paid for it. We could take it, wherever, but we wouldn't get paid for it. And then we'd have to pay for the fuel usage and the wear and tear on the locomotive. So it's just not. It's fun, but it's not worth the trouble. You might as well just stay with stuff. So what is it? Just after 6. Weather is telling me that I'm still going to have rain until 9 o'clock when it's going to clear off. And it's raining now. You know what? Before we do that, let's go over and see another fun feature of Derail Valley. All right, so in most of the bigger cities and industries, there's a shop. And the shop looks like, well, if you're from the US, it looks like a Napa store. It's blue and gold. It says shop. And there's usually some stuff in the window that kind of shows you what their specialty is. And in this case, it's the keys to where the DE6 slug is and the pocket watch. The pocket watch allows you to see what time it is wherever. But it's got all kinds of other neat stuff in here. Sand for sandblasting your locomotives before you... Yep, that's a Napa Auto Parts. So you have to sand the locomotive before you paint it. And this is the Derail Valley Rail Transit paint. There's soldering irons, there's warning lights, hammers, duct tape, mounting clips, light bars, lanterns. There's the pocket watch. This is the key to where you can get the slug, oiling cans, end of train lights, shovels. There's just all kinds of flashlight, which is important. I need to pick something like that up. Actually, I need to just relax for a moment. I don't think I've got enough yet, but I could do some shunting around here and make that money. So I've got 25K. I do have some playing around money. What do I want to do? And this is a solar powered flashlight too. See the gray on the top is like a solar panel. But you can also get an oil lamp that never runs out of oil. The problem is you need a lighter to use that. Yeah, so it's cheaper right now to get an oil lamp than the flashlight and a lighter. So I think we'll do that just to kind of have some fun here. So we're going to buy a lantern and buy a lighter and buy a pocket watch. How much is that? How much of a train whacker do we want to be? Yes, okay. Oh, wait a minute. One more thing. Give me a hook. Boop. Okay. That should be good for right now. Yeah, because I need to get to the other places. So I can put that down gently. It says I have $6,500 worth of stuff in my shopping cart. So I will buy it. We're at 18K. And then it all just, thanks a lot, Napa guy. So we could take that, take that, take that, take that, and take that. Okay. So we visited the shop. There you go. There's the shop. Da, da, da. We're going to run back to our locomotive. It's getting dark. So what I want to do... All right, so I want to take this, put it in my hand for right now, put it down on the floor where I can find it. And I want to take... We are doing some modifications to our locomotive here. I want to put this here. Then I want to get this and put it over here. The pocket watch, put over here. I want this. I'm going to put that right about there. All right, so now I need the lighter. Light. Very good. Put the lighter away. Very good. And this knob allows me to adjust the flame. And I want to take it and I want to hang it up. Doop. That'll provide a little bit extra light in my locomotive. All right, so we're going to start it up. We're going to go back and get that job we brought in. Is it still raining? Yes, okay. More wipers. So I want headlights. I want headlights going both directions. There we go, perfect. Oh, see? Remember I told you about that wheel slip? Gave it too much. Alright, so we're going to go back and pick up that load of steel rails that we brought in from the steel mill. And we're going to back it into the D yard. D7L. Yes, so we pick it up at C2I, which is where we dropped it off. We're going to take it to D7L, and then once we get it there, we'll turn it in and we'll know where we're putting these cars. All right, we need to slow down. Too much, a little too much, a little too much. We got a long way to go. I got overzealous with the brakes. All right, brakes now. About 5 kilometers an hour here. Not a whole lot fast about this game, except getting from place to place, and sometimes even that slow. So we're at about 3 or 4 miles an hour. We're probably good. We'll just give a little bit more brake. There we go. And then wait to make the connection. In most of these yards, there's plenty of ambient light. But some places you go, you need that flashlight or the lantern to see anything. And that can really be a problem, especially overnight. So early in the game, you probably want to stick to being around in the daytime. All right, we want to make this left-hand turn out of here. So let me pull up the map. So we're here, we're going out this way. We want to go this way so we can back down this way. So let's set this switch to the left. This one should be to the right, and this one needs to be, we're going right as we come through here, and then we go into the D yard, and we want to go to D7. So we hit this, we want to be going to the right, and we want to be going to the right when we hit this switch to go into 7. So it looks like all our switches are good. So let's make this work. Uh-oh, what did I do? I turned off the... Oh, I have to take the brake off of the... All right, there's a little red light that flashes above the brakes. And if you see that flashing, that means something is amiss. Whether it's your locomotive brake's on, the train brake is on, more than one train brake is on, or this little switch down here isn't open. So there's, I love it's this little light here above the brake pipe. That light there will be blinking if something is amiss. All right, so we still are not on the clock. We are cheating the system, so to speak. All right, so when we get out to this next switch, when we get beyond it going to the left, you'll see how dark it can be in some of these locations. And when you get out to like Sawmill or one of the Forest Central or Forest South, those yards don't have much light, if they have any light at all. So a flashlight or some kind of illumination is critical. The lantern's nice because you could just sort of set it there in the area and use it. Oh, I should have used the end of a train light. I think I have to light it though. We'll take it with us when we do make this turn. So we're going to go to the left here, back out to the main line, going around the back of the roundhouse. We get this done and I've got extra time. We'll take a run around the roundhouse. That's always fun to look at the other locos. Can't actually get on them because we don't have the license, which is goofy. But everybody's still doing good. How the Tigers doing, Wild? You beating the Pirates? Oh, hello, Wasted. I'm sorry, I missed you. Yes. I'm trying not to use them. Gone through there. Ooh, top of the 7th. Alright, so let's take a look and check to see how our train is doing. It's one more car past the switch, and then we can stop the train, run out, and flip that switch. Alright, that looks good. We can reach it from over here. That's super nice. I don't know that we need to light this. Oh, don't do that. I want to do that. And I want to get this. Do we need to light it? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I don't know whether it's on. Sorry, I'm wasting time here. I'm trying to make sure that the darn thing is on. Oh, light fire. Da-da! Okay, good. All right, we're going to take that with us. We're going to hang it on the end of our last car. Dude, look at that. We're such a train whacker. All right, we're going to flip this switch so we can head on back. Run through the bush. Run through the bushes. Didn't think we were this far back. Okay. A little bit of wheel slip. Did you see that red light come on? Is it still raining? I'm not sure it's still raining. Turn those off. So there are modifications you can make to your locomotives that don't require tools. Oh look, the moon's out. There's even stars. And what was it? Yeah, last week. I mean, here's the summer triangle right there. There's Cygnus the Swan, Lyra, and Aquila. Altair? Altair. Yes, Altair. There's Scorpio. And Sagittarius is here. Here's the teapot. Scorpio's stinger back here. We're doing astronomy now. There's the Big Dipper handle down to the bowl. So that means the Little Dipper should be somewhere in here. Anyway, I should drive my train. All right, we're coming to the turn, heading towards back towards the D yard. All right, so that switch there is the next one we need, and that is turn to the right, so that's going in the right direction. So how fast are we going? 18? 18's good. Yeah, and Aquila. Okay. Okay, Altair is the star's name. Aquila is the constellation. Yeah, I was I didn't realize it. I'd looked a few times and I'm like, I recognize nothing. This is not based in anyone's reality. And I looked up last week and I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, so our next switch is right there and it is switched to the right. That's good. That's where we need to go, and we need to go into that track there underneath those cranes. And then we'll do an unload job. All right, so we can come back over and start to slow down. That was probably too much slow down. All right, so we just need to be beyond the 7L. Well, wasted, that would be awesome if that was true. In fact, I'll keep an eye on that through the winter, see if Orion's up. All right, so we are in the unloading space. Oops, sorry, girl. My Sheltie was underneath my desk. All right, so now that we have that set, we need to run back over to the station. Oops, too far. Overshot. To the station and turn in the order because we're already halfway done with it. All right, so we've picked it up. We're at 7DL ready to drop it off. And here's our first drop off. So G2S, C1S, and D1S. So what we want to try and hope we can do is drop this one off first, set this one aside, and drop these two off, and then pick this one up and drop it off because D and G yards are right next to one another. Let's I know we're on the so here's the D yard. That's where we're at now. Here's the G yard, and the C yard is all the way over here. So if we can do the work here first and finish the job here, then we don't have to run back and forth here. So we're trying to do our shunting, do our jobs as efficiently as possible with the least number of movements, let's say, like any prototypical railroader. Oh my God, I'm such a geek. All right, so put that away. Let's go and unload this job. Shall we stop and have an a woo? A woo! A woo! Okay. I started in a woo. All right, we have to find a little stanchion and do the unload. Unload. All right, everything's unloaded. I heard it. Now, let us see. What number is this? 995. Let's look at our thing. This one, C1S, D1S is 995. Perfect. So that's the end one, and it goes in D1S. So good. We could drop that one off first. Then C1S one is 649. Yes. Okay. So they are in order to drop them off in reverse. So we will do that. With the plan that we have. Come on. What are you doing? Stop it. Oh my gosh, what are we doing here? Okay. Put her in forward. Brakes are not on. All right. Let's go to our first drop off. D1S. That is over on those tracks there. And it's one D5, D4. Oh, there's 4, D2S, and D1S. So it's all the way on the outside. Back there. We could D1S. So we need to go left, left, and left. And we need to get past this next switch, and we need to go out on this line to our right. So that's the switch we just passed. Start braking. Good enough. We're in reverse. Give ourselves one. And we're on the left track. Could give us another tick of power, notch of power. Head on back. That's enough. You don't need to go crazy here. Don't think there's anything on that track. There might be. So we want to approach it with some caution. But our switches are right. We need to go to the left, and to the left. And looks like our track is clear. There's one in 2 track. So we'll be going to the left of that sign right there at where my, how we doing on speed? Let's slow her down. Hey, not a problem. Thanks for stopping by, Wasted. I'm streaming every Wednesday night, 7 to 9. All right, that's way too much. Have a great evening. Be safe. Stay healthy. All right. That's good. Let's go out and disconnect. Grab our end of train lantern. We set the brake. Let's grab that. Put in our inventory. And then head on up. All right, so this next car we want to leave before we get to the switch to the G yard. I think this job gave us enough time to run back and forth across harbor and drop things off, but it can become aggravating, and shunting can be somewhat aggravating if you allow it to be, and it's a really, really lucrative part of this game. So don't every job is a puzzle, and the shunting jobs are like little puzzles that are specific to the yard or the industry or the city that you're in. And the freight hauls, those are puzzles within the whole of Derail Valley. Which railroad lines do I want to take? Which switches do I want to go by? Because there's often 2 or 3 different options to get from place to place. All right, so we want to drop this car off before we get to that triangle. How are we doing on speed? We might actually be good. How are we doing? A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's good right there. All right, so we're going to jump off. There's no light around here. It's only the headlights that are giving us any light. And we're going to set this brake. And we're going to turn the air off. Uncouple. And then these 2 cars need to go down that track. Let's see, where did they go? D1S, G2S. You know what? Let's go down. It's to the left. So let's run down here. Set the switches. See how dark it is? All right, so we want to go to the left. And that's 3. So we need to go 2. So we want this one straight. And we want to turn it into here. All right, and that'll turn it down that track, and we do have cars in that track, so we'll have to do some probably pushing to get them where they need to go. All right, let's go forward a little bit more. Clear this, clear the switch. There's the switch there. Get those 2 cars clear of that. Add some brake, turn off the... How we doing? Yeah, very good. Perfect. A little more brake. All right, so we can use our radio, aim it at the switch lights up, click the button, it changes. We can also hit the Alt button on the keyboard and click on it, and we can change it that way. Now that we have that dispatcher, I think the dispatcher gives us that ability. So now we need to back up, brake off, and back her into that yard. Now we'll likely want to be about 15 miles an hour into this, and then start braking as we get into the switch. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, that's good for speed. Coast the rest of the way. Here's the first switch. Second switch, let's give her some brakes. How are we doing in on our speed. A little more brakes. There we go. A little more brakes. A little more brakes. Don't want to hit too hard. Up too much brakes. Where are we at? 2 miles an hour. Just a little bit. So we're going to have to push these other cars. Okay, so we hit. It's easier to do this way. Because these will all move easier if you're not fighting against the if you're not fighting against the brakes. Let's see, did that move it enough? Nope. And we're really close. Connect, give it some air, have some air. In Derail Valley, if there's a brake set on the train, it's usually the furthest away from where you are. So unless you've set the brake, and you know you set it close, like here it is, it's at the end, furthest end of the train from where you are. All right, so I'm gonna hop in here. Brakes are off. I'm gonna push it the rest of the way. So I'm gonna push all of these cars. Now they're all one big train, but everything moves so much faster and so much smoother, and you're not damaging the brakes on other cars inadvertently and just creating more costs that later in the game you just don't want to deal with. All right, set a brake. Turn these off. Can I see it? Glad hands. Turn that off. All right, get in there. And we drop those two off, so that's the second drop off. Now we go back and get that car that we left behind and take it over to the sea yard, and we are done. And I win 4-2. Ah, poor pirates. Another in the W column for you, buddy. There's, yes, our little virtual hearts are broken. All right, little break here. Get through the switch. Reverse, break off. That is plenty. Brake back on. take off. We'll just coast in there. A little harder than I'd like, but some of this is just practice, guys. A flashlight does help, especially early on if you don't know where to find things. But sometimes you can just sort of sweep your mouse around, find what you're looking for, and then kind of pull it towards you, and the game automatically kind of magnets it all together. All right, so now we're on our way to the sea yard. Again, we're going to have to pull beyond and back in. How we doing? 8:43. Yeah, we'll be done with this. Then we'll take a quick run over and check out the eye candy in the roundhouse, and we may call this a night. Ooh, we have a pocket watch. Let's see. What time is it? It is after 2 a.m. Almost quarter after 2. I will definitely sleep once we finish the stream. That way we start next week bright and early. Kind of take a look and plan some things out, but we may just be doing some shunting here. After that, I want to get a trip up to, I believe it's Machine Factory, because the next thing I want to get for us is the remote control. See how dark it is out here? I mean, thank goodness this thing lights up, but it's very dark out here. You try and disconnect a train, you know, and you're 5 or 6 cars away, and there are box cars, and the lights from your locomotive aren't making it. Lantern or flashlight definitely come in handy. There is an LED light on the radio that's supposed to be kind of there in the interim. All right, so we need to set our sea yard because we did not do that. So we need to go to 1. So we need to go in and to the left. So now that's set. We are going plenty fast enough. You see how much light this lantern gives off? It's pretty good. I mean, and now it's turned all the way up. I mean, it's like crazy in here. You could turn off the cab light and you almost have as much light, but what it does is it shines some light behind you when you're running your train at night. And so when you're reading your maps and stuff, you have backlight. Whereas this is kind of forward, and your maps, it won't illuminate your maps without turning yourself in the cab. All right, so we're on our way to 1S. There is 1 car in there, but we don't need to worry about it. We are just going to let ourselves come to a stop. A little more brake now. And then we will Apply the train brake. Always do this first. A lot of times you forget that and you go all the way back to the station. It says, "Oh, sorry, you're not done yet. You forgot to set a brake." And you're like, "Oh, darn it." So, okay, that's all good. So I'm gonna leave this here. We'll just turn it off. We'll turn that down a little bit. And shut our doors. And we're going to run in and turn this in. And we'll go back over to the roundhouse. Ta-da! Okay, so we had 54 minutes to do it in. We did it in 24. Base payment was $11,916. Got checks for all the good stuff. Validated the order, and we earned an additional almost 6,000 for 17,874. So we definitely, and there we go, 17 grand in our pocket. And when we rolled in, and finished the first job, we were at 24. We bought those few things. Now we're at 36. Just after one freight haul and shunting that order. So again, there's a lot of little shunting orders here that we can definitely do. This one, these are too long. We might be able to do this one. We'll have to look at it. This one's where we can do that. We can do that. We can do this. Nope, that needs a long and a fragile, so we can't do that. We can do, nope, we can't do this one without fragile. We can do this one. We can do that one, and we can't do this one without fragile. And we can't do this one without long. And then there's a bunch of freight jobs that we can take. And we'll see where they're going and see if something, here's one for machine factory. That requires long and this requires fragile. So we'll look through that next week. Figure out what we want to do. We'll go through that planning phase. For right now, for the last 10 minutes of the stream, we are going to run around here and take in the eye candy. Okay, so that's a little train like what we're using now. This is a very big locomotive. We don't have a license for that yet, but that's the S282, and it's tender. Can we get up? Will it allow us? No. Okay. This is where we refuel and repair our locomotives. This is the big old DE6. That's the biggest loco in the game. Diesel loco. This will pull, that'll pull equal to this. And then this is the DH4, the diesel hydraulic locomotive. This is twice as powerful as what we're using now. And if you don't mind, I'm going to set this up so that it's going straight across to the refueling wing. But these are a few of the locomotives. There's one small steam locomotive that's still out there we haven't seen yet. But this thing's a beast. And then, as I showed you when we were at the store, there's a slug version of this that's just the traction motors. And then the steam locomotive, the tender. 008. And in the game, there's a derelict version of each of these locomotives, of this one, of the Steam, the DE6, and the DE4, or DH4. And you get the license, you get the museum license, and then you can tow those to the museum where you can restore them. You buy the parts you need, you pay somebody to put the parts on for you, and then you go into the repair slot at the museum, and using all of these little knobs, you repair the guts and the wheels and the body, and then that locomotive is yours. So we'll look in the daytime to see if there's one here in Harbor. There wasn't. Usually there's one right where we walked past, if there was one. So there isn't. So where are we? Okay, yeah, we're over here. All right, so we're going to head back to the station. We know we left our locomotive into the sea yard, and that'll be okay right where it's at for right now. And we're going to finish the stream. Always looking around. Yes, well, we were checking out the locomotives in the roundhouse, all the cool eye candy. So yeah, I think we want to try and get to Machine Factory in town for our next haul. And I've got a couple minutes here, so we can't do logistics. That's fragile. That requires another license, which we can consider getting. So we'll put that one there. Is there any more that go to Machine Factory? This goes to Sawmill. It's logistic. We can't do that. This is a long one. Iron ore east. Don't have that. Coal mine. Where's this one? To the farm. That requires long. We don't have that. We definitely don't have that. Machine Factory. Up, that's Hazmat 2. We do not have that. Forest South. That's a long. Can't do that. Sawmill. We could do that. It's at least in the right direction. And then we can pick something up from there and go to Machine Factory. That's a long. It's also logistic. We can't do that. Just throw stuff on the floor, I know. Goods Factory. That's a fragile as well. Goods Factory is another good place to go. It's the other direction. So we may try and do a couple more shunting jobs. There's another fragile. So we may pick up the fragile license just to open up some more opportunities for us. But here's one for 7,600 that we can do. 4,500, 4,200, even with the bonuses. I mean, this is still good money. This is 10,000, and these are another 10,000 together, easy. And if we pick up fragile, we can do this one as well. So I think we're going to pick up fragile in our next episode and next week, and then do some shunting. Spend an evening doing shunting together. All right, so I want to thank everybody, Baby Pup, Wild Fox, Wasted, and Skash for coming to join me tonight in this stream. Thank you guys. Hope you had a good time. If you're not following me, please do. And for those of you who are watching after the fact, thanks for coming by. If you enjoy what you see, please do consider giving me a follow and giving it a like, because all that helps with me helping me get noticed. So that's all for tonight. This is Swift Fox, your engineer and conductor. I'll be signing off. We are at our destination. Please make sure you check your overhead luggage racks for all your belongings. Be safe, stay healthy, and have a good rest of your week. Thanks again, and we'll see you next Wednesday.